Welcome to Let's Talk Investing. My next guest, Barnum, is an example of why business is such an important part of investing. Brandon found himself as a solo dad on $20,000 a year, and within 18 months, he had made that to $200,000 a year. So please sit back, relax, make plenty of notes because you've got lots to learn today, and just listen to what Brendan Barnum has to say about how you build businesses. Okay, so welcome, Brandon Barnum, to Let's Talk Investing. And when we mention Let's Talk Investing, we're talking about building businesses and basically how you can build your brand through books. So, Brandon, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So, what I found is that obviously I did a little bit of research before we get to have these chats. And one of the things that you are known now as is the king of referrals. Would you like to fill us in a little bit on that?
Well, it's not a term that I coined myself. Somebody actually did a magazine cover, and that was the term that they used to describe me. So I've been working by referral now for about 26 years, and I really got started off. I was a single dad in my 20s, got custody of my son when he was 2 and I was 24. And at the time, I was only making $20,000 a year working as a marketing director for an estate planning law firm. And once I got custody, I couldn't afford my mortgage payment. I'd already bought a house and I couldn't afford the daycare both. And so I started bouncing my mortgage checks. I knew I had to make a change. So I ended up getting in the mortgage business. And I had somebody that mentored me in the art and the science of raving referrals. He didn't call it that. That's what I call it. But that helped me to 10x my income over 18 months from 20,000 a year to $200,000 a year. And since then, I've closed over $500 million by transactions. And now I'm just on a mission to help everybody boost their business by referral.
So tell us a little bit about referrals, why you like them and why that's your business model.
Oh, they're just so much more powerful. So for those of you that are listening, if you're in the B2B world, if you sell services to business owners, you need to know that 84% of business sales start with a referral. So what that's caused by is the fact that referrals elevate trust. And that's really the name of the game, is trust, right? In order to win business, people have to trust you. And when somebody says, oh, Karen, you got to meet this person, right? You're more likely to trust them, even though they're a stranger to you. But because if I've given you that recommendation, statistically, people are 90% likely to trust someone when they get referred. So it's really the difference in business. It makes a huge impact in your closing and conversion rates.
So do you deliberately go out and say to people, I need a referral from you, or do you have some way of bringing those referrals in?
Well, I teach the art of the ask. It's actually in our Raving Referrals program. And there's a way that you can ask for referrals that are totally natural and comfortable for you and for the other people. And basically, Karen, here's how it goes, is when you're working with a client, let's say somebody decides to hire you, and when you're having that first client meeting, before you let them go, what you want to say is, Karen, before I let you go, would it be okay if I ask you for a favor? People will always say yes or tell me more. No one's going to turn you down without understanding what you're asking for. And as humans, we want to help. So they'll say, well, maybe or sure, right? And so you say, I really build my business by referral. And what I'd like to ask you is, once I've just wowed you with my service, once I've delivered everything we've talked about today, I'd like to ask you later on if it would be okay if I ask you for referrals. Now, they'll all say yes, because you're not putting them on the spot right now. You're basically saying that if I do a great job, then I'd like the right to ask for referral. We call that setting the stage. That's step one, setting the stage. Now, step two is listening for the referral triggers. And what that looks like is as you're serving the client, they've already said yes, they're willing to give you referrals later on, or at least have a conversation around it. Now you start serving them and you're listening for that, for basically an expression of appreciation. Either, wow, thank you so much. Sometimes they'll even say, wow, you've done such a great job, Karen. You've helped me make so much money. My portfolio has doubled, right? The ROI on this investment was more than I envisioned it would be. Thank you so much. Once you hear that, that's step two of listening for the referral triggers. Now you go into step three, ASK to GET, right? You're going to ask to get. So then you say, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Remember at the beginning, when we started working together, I said I was going to blow you away and deliver a great result. I love helping people like you get results like this. And so do you have any, are there people in your world? And it depends on what you do, because you might say, do you have any clients and customers? You might say, do you have any friends and family? You might say, do you have any coworkers that are in the same situation? Because I would love to help them the way that I've helped you. So that's number one, setting the stage. Number two, listening for the referral triggers. And number three, ASK to GET.
And certainly the referral system, I'm thinking of different types of businesses here at the moment. Network marketing, people who have network marketing businesses, that the referral system would work brilliantly for them in that type of situation.
Their business is 100% referral. It shouldn't be network marketing. It should just be called referral marketing, because that's really what it is. And quite frankly, I've been an executive in 2 different network marketing companies over my career. Once I was VP of sales in my early 20s for a telecard company. And then in my 30s, I was the president of a personal development training company that we used network marketing compensation model, but it was really about generating sustainable philanthropy donations. And so I love referral marketing. I'm not involved in any network marketing companies right now, but they're all referral marketing.
Now, I work with a mentor, a business mentor, and he does referral marketing slightly different in that he brings his clients together and then gets them to ask questions of the people in the group. Who do you know who does this? Who do you know who does this? Who do you know who did it? Who would you be willing to introduce us to? And we go through groups. So again, it's all around referral marketing.
Yeah, and we call that building referral partnerships. We teach the referral partner blueprint, and this is about who are the other professionals who serve your perfect prospects right now. Right. I run HOA.com. That is a referral network of professionals who serve homeowners. And so, like, I was in the mortgage business. My business came from realtors, financial advisors, insurance agents, attorneys, and then contractors, builders, people that were serving homeowners each and every day. And what we teach people to, what we help them to do is add value to the people that are helping the people that you want to serve. And what you have to realize is there's some challenges that your business solves. And so you want to become the solution for other people. So when a realtor has a client that says, hey, I'm looking to refinance, who do you know? You want to be the first mortgage lender they recommend. Or depending on what your business is, you want to help people help people. And when you're the solution that your referral partners can recommend, you're helping them solve their problems by helping their clients solve their problems.
And has referral marketing always been what you've done since you became, like you said, you went from 20,000 to 200,000? Has that model always been your business model?
Yeah, ever since I was 27, it changed my life. And quite frankly, even before, because I was VP of sales for a network marketing company, as I mentioned, when I was 25. But what happened was that once I learned the art and the science of raving referrals, I've been on a mission to help everybody I can. So I've been building technology platforms that are referral based for the last 13 years now. So my last company we built was called refer.com. And we built that into the world's largest referral network. We had over 5 million members. And then we exited that. We sold that company in 2019. And then after that, started to build HOA.com. So what we're doing here is we're creating an ecosystem for professionals who serve homeowners. And it's kind of like Nextdoor meets Angie's List meets Zillow, which may not mean anything to you in Spain, but here in the US, those are three different technology solutions that all help homeowners. We're bringing them all into one platform.
So when you are building these businesses, do you have a model that you work through to build the business? Do you have a template plan that you follow?
Well, I wouldn't say a template plan. I mean, there's so many things when you've been in business and been an entrepreneur for decades like I have, there's things that you learn about what works and what doesn't. As it relates to this conversation, it's the power of partnerships. And so, like here with HOA.com, we've created a partnership with Thumbtack. Thumbtack has 250,000 home service pros. And so they're integrated into our platform. And that way, homeowners can always find a 5-star pro to help them with anything on HOA.com. We just launched our own real estate brokerage, but we have a partnership with a nationwide firm so that there's top trusted realtors in every market that can help our clients. We just done a partnership with a national insurance brokerage where if we don't have an insurance agent locally, we always want to partner with the local pros because it's all about relationships. But if we don't have a local insurance agent, then what we do with the homeowners is we give them access to, if they fill out a form and they get instant bids from 10 of the top insurance companies to find out who's got the best price for them. So it's all about partnership.
While you got the partnership, most people think of that as the personal side of things. You seem to do quite a bit around the technology side as well. And I quite often see that people either think they have to be technology or they have to be on the personal side, but you're combining the both together.
Yeah, we're doing high tech plus high touch. We're doing online digital experience, right? When somebody joins HOA.com as a professional who serve homeowners, they have a profile. We have a digital marketing system that we empower them with. But we also do events in the real world. We actually teach them to create their own business alliance, kind of like their own BNI group that they run. And every month we give them an agenda to follow so that they hold kind of like a mini mastermind with their best referral partners. And then we also do live events in the community. So we're creating online community pages for every neighborhood in America. Okay, so in every one of these neighborhoods, we're creating a digital profile for that neighborhood. And then it's got news and events about what's going on in your local area. And we select a top trusted realtor, mortgage lender, insurance, all of the professionals. We choose one that becomes our representative in that neighborhood. But then what we also do is we do live events because, again, it's high tech meets high touch. And the high touch is our community impact events. So like I was just talking to one of our mortgage lenders in Las Vegas yesterday, and they just did our back to school community impact campaign where she brought together, she was the mortgage lender. She brought her favorite realtor, insurance agent, financial planner. She brought I want to make sure and check my notes so I get it right. She brought a roofer and a house cleaner. They did 46 backpacks that they filled with school supplies for the kids. This was in a lower income area. And so kids that needed help, she coordinated using our templated blueprint. We create these blueprints for these events. And then they had a day of fun. They had lawn games, Connect Four, cornhole. And she said next month for Labor Day, they're doing a hot dog roast and water balloon wars. So they're creating events that happen in the real world so that these professionals get to meet the homeowners and vice versa.
And what a fantastic way of building the relationship with the community.
It's huge. The more you show you care and that you're actually committed to building relationships, the more business you're going to win for years and years to come.
Brilliant. So we've got this business that you're doing, and you're not working that all the time. I take it you do get some free time to yourself and you get some time out to do the things you want to do.
I do. I have a team. I mean, I've got about 25 people right now on our team at HOA.com. And so my role as CEO is I share the vision. I manage the structure. So tomorrow we're having a 4-hour quarterly strategic planning session. So I'll bring together my team, lead that meeting, and set the direction really through the end of 2023. And I spend a lot of time sharing what we're doing with people like you and your audience because I really am on a mission to inspire and empower as many people as possible. Through that, some people love what they hear and they come join what we're doing at HOA.com, but it also leads to some incredible partnership opportunities. And so I love to give back and make a difference. And I'm here on this planet to inspire as many people as possible.
So are you just in the United States, or do you disperse your model, or I don't know, franchise out or expand out to other countries?
Yeah, right now it's just in the US. We will expand globally. HOA in the US means homeowner association. And there really, HOAs don't exist much outside of the US. It's really a thing in America, but over half of all Americans who own a home live in an HOA. It's like a governing body where everybody that lives in that neighborhood agrees to be part of this association and maintain their home under these rules. Okay. It elevates
like having an apartment where you have a body corp that controls it. Yeah, but you're talking a community. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can't have your truck on blocks out there. You can't paint your house pink, right? It's creating a set of rules so that we maintain the values in the community. So that's really a US thing, but we do have plans to grow globally once we've dominated this market. But this is my primary, my passion project right now. I'm leading the Christian Business Alliance, and we're starting chapters with that worldwide. So, and then we have with Raving Referrals, we have people that buy the book or, hire me to speak or invite me on podcasts like this all over the world.
So I'm glad you brought up the book, because that is something I wanted to bring up, is your book, Raving Referrals. Can you just tell us about the book and how you got into writing it and basically the success you've had with it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I started writing it 10 years before I published it. It took me a long time to publish it. Now, knowing what I now know, I could have done it a lot faster. And we're actually starting a book publishing company because people need to get their voice out there. What the book has done for me, I wrote it really for our HOA.com community because I realized the members in our network don't really know how to build referral partnerships. So I just poured out, I wrote every word. There's no copywriter. It really was, from my mind to the pen, and you've got my story. And really it's everything that I know that will transform your business. And one of the biggest things is co-marketing campaigns. One of the breakdowns that I see all over the place is people go to networking events. They meet people, they go have a cup of coffee or a beer, and they're like, oh, I really like you. I'm going to do some business with you. But they never take action. They don't really have a plan in place. So in the Raving Referral system, and you can actually go to HOA.com/blueprint, we give you the referral partner blueprint. And one of the pages you can print out, it's got 21 co-marketing campaigns, 21 strategies of how you can cross refer and cross promote each other so that you both win more business. And it's kind of dummy proof. You can print it out, you can sit down with somebody and you can go, you know what? I'm going to record a testimonial video for you, or I'm going to include a gift certificate for your coaching service to every one of my new clients. So there's 21 different strategies and it's super helpful. But I'd say, Karen, overall, what writing a book does is it elevates your profile. And like now I get paid to speak. I've got a group of dentists. My second book's called Raving Referrals for Dentists. We're creating a whole series of books because my mentor was Mark Victor Hansen, who has sold over 600 million books, mostly with his Chicken Soup for the Soul. I think you met.
I'm just going to say that some people will not have heard of Mark Victor Hansen, but when you mention Chicken Soup of the Soul, it will mean something to them because most people will be aware of that book. And it is the biggest selling book ever in the history of self-publishing books. So, it's a brilliant book, and you couldn't ask for a better mentor than Mark Victor Hansen to get your book out.
Well, to get the book out, and by the way, he loves helping people with their books. So I work with him personally. He lives here in Phoenix. We were just texting the other day. And so, if you've got a book in you and you want to publish your own book, you're more than welcome to let me know. You can go to brandonbarnum.com. We can have a conversation and I can get you connected to Mark because he loves helping people get their books published. For me, he said, don't write a book, build a brand. And so we've got 20 Raving Referrals titles that we're publishing books for. The next one's Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros. And then we're doing Raving Referrals for real estate agents, for insurance agents, financial advisors, CPAs, and a whole host of other titles. And what it does is people now seek me out. They pay me to come speak. Like in a couple of weeks, I'm going down to Dallas, Texas. And my second book is called Raving Referrals for Dentists. And so I'm literally being paid. They're paying my airfare, they're paying my hotel, and they're paying me, close to $2,000. So it's not a massive amount, but they're paying me to come teach and train our perfect prospects for our dental consulting company. And so that's what writing a book does. It elevates you. People want to hire you to then come speak to your perfect prospects. And that's pretty awesome.
Well, a story about books I'll share with you.
Please.
My business, Karen Newton International, was started because I write books, and a guy stopped me in the street with one of my books in his hand and asked me would I coach him. And I said, yeah, even though I'd never coached anyone else before. And I just said, yeah. So that really is the power of writing books.
Isn't that cool? And I love that for two reasons. One is, isn't that fulfilling for you, Karen, when you've made a difference to somebody? Like you put your knowledge, your wisdom, your mastery in a book, then you're able to transfer that knowledge to somebody else. And that is so cool.
Yeah, and it is. Books are, like you said, they are a brand for you. They open up a lot of doors for you. And yeah, I mean, I've been writing books since 2003. I published my first book, and I've done 28 books now. So
20 years. You're a vet. Well, here's the second thing I love about what you just said. It was the power of yes. And this is something I teach all the time. I've never had a lot of opportunities come to me when I say no. Right? Opportunities come when you say yes. An opportunity presents itself just like it did for you. And you didn't know how you were going to do it. Right?
Well, I went home biting my nails and saying to my husband, what on earth am I going to do? I've never done that.
What did I just say yes to? But saying yes transformed your life. You're here years later as a result of that yes. That yes led to other experiences and opportunities that have taken your life down a different path, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a credible opportunity.
That's
but
awesome.
Getting back to your books, because you've given a whole stream of books there. So tell me a little bit more about how you see the referrals for different organizations, because you talked about you've got the one for dentists, you got one that you're going to do for CPAs, and you've listed some other. So do you see your referral system working differently in each of those industries, or still a similar way of being able to bring them together?
Yeah, the core is the same. What gets customized is the scripts and the tips for each industry. So when the beauty is, because I have Mark as a mentor, at the back of Raving Referrals, my first book, I had 2 pages that said, do you want to be a co-author of the next book? And I listed out the 20 titles. And Karen, when I did it, I had no clue what I was going to do. Total transparency. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I feel called to do this. And then what happened was somebody read the next book. In fact, Julianne O'Connor over here said, hey, I'd love to be the co-author of Raving Referrals for Dentists. Now, she was an influencer in the space. She had a ton of dental clients. And so what I said was, okay, you take the first book and I want you to customize it for the dental industry. So I didn't really have to do a ton of work. She took the original book, and 80% of the second book is directly out of the first book. We had to change clients to patients. We had to change some of the scripts. We eliminated one chapter altogether because it just didn't fit. Dentists aren't on LinkedIn, so that just didn't fit for them. So, and then the other thing is, at the end of the book, we added 2 chapters that I didn't have in the first book. One was recommended resources, all of the different companies that serve dentists. And then the second was podcasters. So we have a list of all the top dental podcasts, right? We did the podcast because we knew if I featured them and said, hey, these are some great podcasts you should listen to, they, of course, then asked me to come on their show. So win, win, win. With the recommended resources, I kind of did it the same way. Number one, to help those companies, but it's led to opportunities. I was at a dental event recently, and I was sitting next to a man. We introduced ourselves. He says, hey, I am the vice president of marketing for Curve Dental. I said, that's interesting. I featured you in the back of this book under the recommended resources. He said, what? Are you kidding me? And my team had reached out to his team, but it never got to him. Well, now I'm, doing business with this guy, and they have 70,000 dentists. And because I featured them in the book, it was a give from the get-go. And now we're working on a partnership where they're talking about promoting us to all 70,000 dentists. So anyway,
isn't it?
Feature the lesson here is, when you do something like that, feature the people that you want to be in front of. Look at it as, how can I give? How can I make a difference to as many people as possible?
So when you asked for anyone who wanted to be a co-author, were you inundated, or was she the only one that came forward?
She was the only one initially, but now I've got several people that want to write the Raving Referrals for Chiropractors book, for example. I chose specifically the mortgage lender. He's an investor in our company and one of the top influencers in the mortgage space. But I've had others. I've got somebody that wants to write the book with me on the business coaching side. So I wouldn't say inundated, but definitely have plenty of inquiries. And, I'm taking my time, because it's not just about putting another title out there. I'm looking to find the right partnership with the right person that already has credibility and influence in the space. So I won't just accept anyone as a co-author. It's got to be the right person.
And it will actually grow, because as more people are reading the book and you're getting out to more of an audience, then it will. It's like I talk about compounding interest, or the compounding effect. It's going to grow from that.
Well, and you get smarter with each book. Like I told you about the recommended resources and the podcasters in the second book. That came to me after the first book. I'm like, oh, you know what? I should have done this. So now we are. I was just talking yesterday to my co-author of the Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros book, and we're identifying all of the different mortgage companies. We just got approved for HOA.com with Fairway Mortgage, which is the largest as far as number of loan officers that work for them. And so we're going to create a version that goes to all of those loan officers. Our goal is that every one of those loan officers buys the book, or the company buys it for all of their loan officers. So when you target your audience and you've got your message, especially your book, targeted for your perfect prospects, things start to move quickly.
Now, I have listened to some of the stuff that Mark Victor Hansen does around marketing and out there. Was that an influence on how you actually marketed your books?
No, I would say it's been the other way around. Honestly, I've been influenced 100% by Mark. When I met Mark back in 2004, I met him May 18th, 2004. And the reason I know that is I hired him to speak at a charity fundraising event that I was helping produce. And it was kind of a mutual admiration, mutual love story. Originally, we raised enough money that day to send $1.2 million in medical supplies through the charity, because we had raised funds when he came and spoke. But one of the things that Mark teaches is to write out your goals. He says, write at least 101 goals. And the following week, I was going to Maui, and God bless everybody in Maui right now.
Yeah.
But I went to Maui with my wife, and I sat on the beach, and I really envisioned the rest of my life, what I wanted the rest of my life to look like based on everything that Mark had taught me. And so I wrote these goals out, and so much of my life has come as a result of that time, that experience. But Mark was already a masterful marketer. He was doing his mega marketing conference once a year. He had 3 conferences that he did each year: mega book writing, mega marketing, and mega speaking. And he invited me to be his guest at each of those events over the next couple of years. And when I would go, he would, spotlight me in front of the audience and have me stand up and talk about what I was doing. So it made a tremendous difference because he not only mentored me, he elevated my visibility, and he helped build my confidence, because I'm like, this amazing man is celebrating me to all of these people. And so he cast a vision that I bought into, and it's changed my life forever.
So with the books, and you're going to be busy with the books, you're busy with building the HOA brand, and even looking at moving outside. What's next?
Well, I've got my plate pretty full at the moment, but I've got my list of over 300 different goals. So when you say what's next, I was just looking at my list yesterday. We just started our own real estate brokerage. We just are in the process of starting our own property management company, but those will be wholly owned subsidiaries under HOA.com. We're really creating this ecosystem of partnerships and companies that serve homeowners. And that's really the focus, is to help homeowners live better lives. And then with my Christian Business Alliance, that's to help people feel connected with God. So that's got my plate pretty full.
Sounds like it. So if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, go to my website at brandonbarnum.com. That's got different links to different things that I do. If you want to find out about your own referral practice, go to the referrals. It's referralscorequiz.com. You'll find it at brandonbarnum.com. But that's a quick quiz that you can take. There's 10 questions. You're going to score yourself from 1 to 10 on how well you do on the top 10 best practices when it comes to referrals. And that'll open your eyes to some blind spots in your business. So check out referralscorequiz.com.
And for your book, how can they get your book?
Well, if you go to brandonbarnum.com, you're going to see that's actually a page on ravingreferrals.com. So you can do it there. And then, of course, on Amazon as well.
And if they have an idea to be a co-author with you, again, it's brandonbarnum.com, is it, to get hold of you?
Yeah. And on brandonbarnum.com, my calendar link is on there. So, if that's something, if you're interested in being a co-author, you can schedule time with me and we can have that conversation.
Well, it has been really fascinating. I don't know how you have the energy. I'm always told that I'm a high energetic person, but you just left me thinking I need to get even fitter to do more at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, you get a mentor like Mark Victor Hansen, and your whole vision for your life expands. And that's what it's done. Is with Mark taught me anything is possible. One quick story and then we'll wrap. When I was on that beach, one of the things that I wanted was Mark Victor Hansen to be my mentor. I wrote that as my goal. I also wrote that I wanted Mark Victor Hansen to write about me in a book by May 28th of 2025, 1 year later. And he had written The 1 Minute Millionaire. This was his book that I had read, and it changed my life. Well, he asked me a few months after he started mentoring me. He said, Robert Allen and I are writing the sequel to The 1 Minute Millionaire. It's going to be called Cracking the Millionaire Code. Would it be okay if we wrote about you? And remember, I had written that in my goals. And I'd written that I wanted that to happen by May 28th, 2005. Well, this book got published May 31st, 2005, 3 days after, and it's got 3.5 pages about me. And when I realized that you can literally create anything you want to in life, you got to get crystal clear on what it is that you want. Write it down. It's got to be in writing, and you've got to have a date by when you want to accomplish, experience, or attract that into your life. Then anything is possible. And as he's expanded my mind and my vision for life, it has been beyond a blessing. So I owe him so much. And I'm so grateful for his mentorship and the impact he's made on my life. And I'm paying it forward to try and do the same thing with as many people as possible.
And I think the model you've got there is doing exactly that. I love what you're actually doing there.
Thank you, Karen.
Brendan, thank you very much for being on the call today. And I think we'd love to have you back and find out again how everything's going, especially with these Raving Referral books.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Such a pleasure and a joy. And I hope everybody listening is blessed beyond belief.
Thank you.